this out. So we're gonna start that recording
The
and
2008
start
Toyota
that
Matrix.
stream. Welcome to Horsin Around, a dumbass cast. I'm your host, as always, Nick Bergadante, and with me today I have three lovely guests. If you'd like to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm the 1985 Subaru Justy.
Hi, I'm a classic PT Cruiser brought to you by Chrysler.
Oh my god. Hey guys, it's me, the 2001 Jeep Cherokee. Also brought to you by Chrysler.
We're a Chrysler sponsored episode today.
No, we're not.
Absolutely, 100%.
They're a bad car company. They're bad cars.
Anyways, the reason all of my dumbass friends are introducing themselves as cars is because a Halo trailer dropped, and it features a very prominent, not from the year 2552 car.
It's really not very prominent, actually.
Mr. Tahoe over here. Well, people are making a fucking massive deal out of it, so it might as well be the fucking.
Yeah, I can't believe a
That's a
film
good
production
point.
had a single production error. I can't believe it.
What?
I've won
how
media.
cringe?
I've won media by pointing out one continuity error I've spotted in half a frame of media of the
I get
fucking
1 media arts point for that.
12 hours
You
of
get it.
TV.
And once
they're
you
gonna
get
release
10
for
media
this
arts
thing.
points, you're
You get a
legally
new media
required
design
to direct
degree,
a movie
actually.
and get paid $1 million for it. So
Jack, you know what my major is, right?
Is it new media fucking design or whatever?
It's interactive development, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Same
oh
thing.
no,
I knew that.
Jay.
No,
I
at least I'm taking the software engineering courses, and it's not just a pure design
This is
track.
the car that will replace Prozac.
Gotcha. But yeah, new Halo trailer dropped. I think overall I'm kind of intrigued by it.
I've never wanted to watch a TV show less. I'm gonna be real with you.
Are you really? Why is that?
I don't think it looks good.
Really.
I'm genuinely not interested.
I don't know.
I don't like television. Also, I do not believe that. I said this when we watched the trailer. I don't think that a live action medium is very well suited to capture the prestige, not prestige, but the grandeur required of Halo.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to pull
Yeah.
off, but it'd be very hard.
I've seen some very cynical takes already by friends of ours, as well as just online in general, of like, it seems like they are very clearly taking an alternate timeline route.
I have no problem with that.
They could do
I
that,
have
and
no
they can
problem
make
with that.
an interesting story out of it. But they are injecting a human villain that joins the Covenant, so that they could potentially have humans fighting humans instead of having to CGI more aliens. Which
Yes.
I don't know if,
I
at
don't
least for the
care about
trailer,
it.
I don't know if
don't-
it holds water, because there are clearly a lot of like fucking hunter worm thingies crawling around in the background of the same shot.
But this
that
is
human
this is
villain
how
and, like-
television.
introduced
This is
with.
how television works, Nick. We've all seen, like, everyone's seen at least. Well, I shouldn't speak for everyone, but most people have seen one episodes of, fucking Agents of Shield or some shit, where they're like,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
look at
suck.
this fucking cool effect, and you're like, that effect
Ooh.
doesn't even look that cool, and then you realize that quote unquote cool effect was their entire production budget for that week, and you're like, oh no, the rest of the episode looks like ass.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they could have.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was not very good.
We put
put
all their money
3
shots.
people in 2 rooms. This is the episode.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait a second.
I didn't
So
realize.
you're telling me this
are
whole
barren?
episode takes place on a plane?
Jacob, I did not realize that you.
And there's snakes.
You seemed to imply the other day that your general avoidance of TV these days was brought on in part by having to be sat down and watched all of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like,
I did not
forcefully.
have to do that. I sat next to the person who was like, yo, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is really good. I was like, maybe I should give
Not.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. a try. Got halfway through the season, first season, went, oh my god, I have to get out of here.
I've watched the whole show twice. It only gets worse.
Oh my god.
That's what I've heard.
And you're
It
telling
just
me
gets
this person,
increasingly ridiculous.
You're telling me this person who
You
made
want-
you do this isn't Lul. Like, I just need
No,
to
Lul,
reconfirm
that's
that.
what I'm saying. Lul did.
Oh,
Lul
he
was
did.
like, dude,
Okay, it was him.
Agent. No, he didn't force me. He just said Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. is really good, and
Oh.
you hear that enough, and
A
you go,
lie.
maybe he's not lying, and then you watch it, and you're like, he was lying.
Fuck, he was lying.
I have cousins that love it, which only solidifies my belief that my cousins are fucking idiots.
I just watched the trailer. It feels very much like junk food TV.
For Agents
yeah,
of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
that's what it is.
I mean, it's
Well,
For Halo.
here
Well, I
this
guess
is
for
this is
Halo,
okay.
yeah.
this
I
is
agree.
this is my problem. What's TV I like? I guess I liked Lost, and that's kind of prestige television. But even still, let me. Shit, I wish I had a list of
I mean,
television
you
shows
like
I
Doom
watched.
Patrol.
I liked animated TV.
Yeah.
Gravity
I
Falls.
like-
Did you watch Hilda?
I tried watching Hilda. It wasn't my favorite.
That's fair.
I-
I like it a lot.
Uh,
I thought it was very cute.
I like animated TV.
Yeah.
I can watch sitcoms. I love Cheers. I love
Oh,
Frasier.
We
I
love
fucking
King,
hate
we love
sitcoms,
King
actually.
of the
It
Hill in this
depends. It depends
household.
on the Jack. It depends on the sitcom. There's a specific type of sitcom I like, which is like
And that
Have
sitcom
you
name
watched-
is Frasier.
Ironically, I hear
Have
a
you
laugh
watched
track and I want
MASH?
to vomit.
Have you watched MASH
I've
and
not watched
fucking
MASH.
split off? All it's kind of like not split offs, but like everything kind of inspired after that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
The
like,
Match
that's-
extended universe, if you
yeah.
will.
Also,
Oh,
I say
God.
Cheers and Frasier, but that's the same fucking show because Cheers
Yeah.
is what spawned Frasier. So, but I don't know. Like Golden Girls is really funny. I'm trying to think about like what's on my list that I'm fine with competition shows or
Yeah.
like
I think
life-
competition shows are fun, but they're stupid.
yes, lifestyle shows.
So you don't, so you're not really
I
into,
enjoy. I
the-
like House Hunters International a lot. Love House Hunters International.
I watch a lot of TV and I don't enjoy any of it.
That's my
Why?
problem.
Yeah.
TV is literally like I have the time to read America's great novels, but I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna watch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm gonna
Agent
rewatch
Carter?
The Simpsons again. I don't know. Was
I mean,
Carter
Simpsons
any
is
good?
animated and a comedy, which fits into several of the brackets of TV I actually watch. So I guess
Are
You
you-
should
Oh,
watch
and-
the Avengers Endgame episode.
and anime. I like anime,
Yeah, you
but that's
fucking
also
weeb.
animated
Fucking
television.
weeb.
Fucking weeb.
And
just
also,
assumed that's
Literally,
why
all
also,
three of us
animated
in a row
television.
said the exact same
Al-
thing.
Also, you know what's the best part about anime? It's like most of the time it's
The
short.
titties.
Sometimes it's like half.
Oh, you're
Sometimes it's a quarter of a season, like 6 episodes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're watching something that's a masterpiece, like Space Patrol Luluco, and you're like, "How long are the episodes? A minute and a half." There's no way they can make something
Perfect.
good in that. And then you watch like 12 episodes in a row, and you're
And
like,
you're
"Wow, this shit's a
crying.
masterpiece."
I like. So, do you not like any of the? I don't know how else to. I don't want to describe it as the Netflix tier television show, but I'm at a loss for figuring like the more higher budget kind of like drama ongoing series shows like Squid Game or fucking like I don't know fucking Stranger Things, I guess. Like do you not are you not into that?
I guess I've watched Stranger Things, but also
Longer form dramas almost.
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
More accurate to call them.
Stranger Things was all fun. We all had our laughs.
Stranger
We
Things
all
is too long
enjoyed it.
now. 4
And
seasons.
now it's done.
I'm looking forward to the 4th and 5th
Now it's
season.
over. There's
They,
no
they
more.
explicitly have been like, hey, do not ask for any more seasons after 5 because that is the last season that we have any good ideas
You know what?
for.
That's 4 too many.
I think you
maybe
mean
3 too
the-
many.
Wait, when they said 5, they meant 5 minus 4, right? Where the
Yeah,
last
yeah.
good idea
What?
was season
I
1.
I have enjoyed the first
I had
3
fun
seasons
with
of Stranger
season 3.
Things.
I had fun with
What
season
the fuck happened
3.
in season 3?
Season 3 was the one where they kind of gave up and they're
The
just like, it's a
mall?
silly like kid show now, and you're like, nice.
Yeah.
I like
the
this.
kids
And
are,
then
the
they're
kids
like,
are
Season 3
going
the one
through
with the fucking
puberty.
ice cream shop?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that one was pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Because
Season
season 3
2
was
was
another
not
one
great.
where I was like, oh, they went to
Oh, yeah, it
silly
had
things,
Winona
and the
Ryder.
silly stuff is what works. Like
Yeah.
when they double down on like the Steve
They doubled down on having fun with it.
is everyone's friend and it's
Yeah.
fun. Unlike season 2, where they tried going a little bit more dramatic in some of those episodes, and you're
I
like,
don't
this
know.
doesn't work.
I think
And
I-
all of the dramatic episodes in season 3 are like any dramatic moment in season 3 is like stinky poo poo, and all the non-dramatic shit in season 3, which is like it's just a couple of friends hanging out. I'm like, this is what you guys know how to do. Please, I don't know what happened between season 1 and season 2, but all your drama guys, I guess, left because like the drama in season 1 is pretty solid, and then by season
like
2, you're
I
like,
like Samwise Gamgee's actor being the dad who's
he's
just a good
he's
dad.
very good,
And then
but
he
then all of the
dies.
serious stuff they do with it is really dumb. He
I
literally
thought
dies
they
because they're
handled-
like, oh shit, we forgot to kill him. And they literally knock over a broomstick so he dies. He just stands there and is like, I guess I'm supposed to die now. And you're like, is no one gonna, like, nothing gonna happen?
alright.
No one's gonna do anything? And they're like, no, I have to die now. And you're like, all right, I guess.
Oh my god, I totally forgot he was in this.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, that was
it's
dumb as- that was dumb as
actor,
shit.
he's got a
That was
face
so
that you're like, I
fucking
know him
stupid.
from somewhere, and then you're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, that's Samwise Gamgee.
I like
That
Ash
shit
versus the
was
Evil
dumb.
Dead, but that's also like kind of a comedy show.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you were talking about how your dislike of fucking terrible Monster of the Week-esque kind of stuff that was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And I was thinking about it.
No,
mean,
I
love
it-
Monster of the Week.
I
stuff.
like there are Nick. You just said that to the guy who runs around being like,
Okay,
hey,
let me.
did you
let me
guys know that
rephrase
this
You were
song was
talking
from a
about-
random episode of Scooby Doo from the '60s?
You're
Did you
talking
know about that one?
The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I would like to categorize as a
No, you're
CW fucking Monster of the Week show. All right, is that
So,
is that
Agents
more
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
fair?
is a Monster of the Week show in the same way that Supernatural is a Monster of the Week show. It starts off as a Monster of the Week show.
Yeah, that's a
and then they
CW
gradually
show.
start. Yeah,
But,
well, then they
alright.
gradually start introducing more and more.
I'd like
dramatic
to
elements and
I'd like to
plot.
take Nick up on this idea.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I hate dramatic Monster of a Week shows,
Yeah.
and I can only barely stand dramatic long form running series.
Okay, I see. I understand.
I
And
really
was-
want to watch Riverdale again. I think we need another season of Archie's boxing career.
The problem is I kind of want to watch Riverdale because it's stinky, and I'm
Well,
like,
it's
It's
so
so bad.
fire.
It's
so
so bad.
bad
that it almost comes back around to being fucking amazing. Like it comes
literally-
back
no,
around
I
to
would-
being high art.
I don't think
absolutely
it does.
comes back
I've
around.
watched the entire the fucking Super Eye Patch Wolf video on it where he's like, "Don't do this. I don't know why I did this. You don't have to do this."
It fucking wraps around so far. It's bad again.
Oh my god! So it's
It
like
re-
it's a
it-
corpse
it
that
underflows
just
twice.
keeps going.
It really
Yeah.
does.
It's honestly impressive.
But I was gonna bring up another show that we have been watching recently, which is Doom Patrol, which is a show you do like and is a Monster of
do
the Week
like Doom
show
Patrol.
and is kind of dramatic. Like it seems like it kind of breaks that. It seems like it has all
Yes,
the pieces
but
to
the-
be a dramatic CW-esque Monster of the Week show, but then it really. I think it's self-aware, and I think that's what
Yes.
makes it. It makes it step beyond.
This is my big problem with a lot of, let's say, Marvel prestige television now too,
Okay.
and a lot of Marvel shit in general. Honestly, well, not even Marvel. This is shit you can trace back to like the Bryan Singer fucking get that guy out of here, X-Men movies, where
Which is Marvel.
someone at the time it was technically not owned by Marvel properties. It was technically sold off and do its own thing. Technically,
I mean, it wasn't, it was Fox.
it's now Marvel again because they
Yeah.
fucking bought Fox. But hey, did you know Logan's a Western? Okay.
Logan's a good
Whoa!
movie. Logan's a
What?
good movie.
No one's ever done that.
I want to watch Western set in universes I care about. I want.
I
more
like
fucking
things-
Mandalorian.
When
Yeah.
things are serious, I like when the subject is serious. I like it when they're serious. When the subject is silly, well, I shouldn't even say that because it really depends. It really depends on the direction, and I think
Yeah. Turns
a
out
lot
you
of
just
mar-
need a good
a lot of-
director
a
and
lot of
writing
modern
team to
shit
make
was
good
like-
media.
Whoa, wild
a
concept.
lot of modern media is like they took all this silly shit and then they're like, well, now it's mainstream, so we need to make it for a mainstream audience. I'm like, I don't give it. That's why Harley Quinn works so well because they were like, yeah, it's about the show is called Harley Quinn, guys. Well, what we're gonna do, like, and that's what works about the dramatic shit in that. It's because they actually go like, all right, but we're actually going to like use our writing techniques in order to create dramatic character. It's the classic Red Letter Media joke from Rogue One, which is, wow, that movie was so dark. You mean thematically? No, I couldn't see shit.
Oh man, no, Harley Quinn's great. I can't fucking wait for season 3.
Fucking love that show.
And that show has actual dramatic moments to it, but
Yeah,
it
with-
deals with everything.
With fucking
it-
Kite Man.
They
it
did
deals-
Kite Man dirty.
it deals with everything at the level it feels like it is appropriately supposed to be dealt with. That's
Yeah.
why when like shit is like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. like comes out and they're like, on this episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like it's the fucking
Fuck you. I just want to watch the
fucking
man
like
jacked up on
ER
drugs
has
push
more
things.
self-awareness than you do. Do you understand that? when the like
Stop being so
But it
serious.
has Agent Coulson
show
in
me
it,
the
Jacob.
show me the man with the magic spine.
It has Agent Coulson and Ming-Na Wen. All right,
I'm gonna throw out legitimately the funniest Robot Chicken bit I've ever seen and continues to be, which is it's called This Time This Week on Agents of Shield, and it's just Coulson and whoever the main girl is. I can't remember her name right now.
Ming-Na Wen or the other.
Yeah,
no, the
no.
one, or I guess Magnoan is also.
I agree
yeah,
with Jack.
What the fuck?
Well, look, everyone's attractive,
yeah,
but
that's true.
It's Coulson going, oh my god, Iron Man just flew by, and she's like, can I see? Oh my god, it's the Hulk. Can I see? Oh my god, it's Thor. And then she goes, wait, Agent Coulson, please, can I see? And he goes, no. And then the clip ends.
That is accurate. That is very accurate for what I remember this show.
Iron Man
They did manage during the fucking Winter Soldier tie-in. They actually had Nick Fury show up. Fucking.
They had Nicolas Cage
I think I've talked about this
For
before.
all of 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is something.
I think I've talked about this before, but do you guys know about the Winter Soldier shit and like how before Kevin Feige was in charge of Marvel TV as well, he would literally things would literally happen to, I don't want to say intentionally tank, but
well, yeah, no, the TV guy the TV director or whatever fucking was feuding with Feige and the movie people, right?
Yes, exactly, because Feige wanted more control. Well, they each wanted control over their own property, and technically Feige was the one making the most money, and he wanted more control over all aspects of Marvel production.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know that for certain, but that kind of is how it sounded.
That's the vibe.
That's the vibe. Anyway, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. writing team did not know about what was going to happen in Winter Soldier, a movie where they destroy S.H.I.E.L.D.
Very cool.
And they literally they were finding out about it when the movie came.
That's probably why they were running around in a bunker for half that season, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unironically, that is what happened.
They were just like, oh, who's good and who's bad? It is literally the writers who are trying to figure out who's good and who's bad.
I do appreciate that they just gave up on trying to tie into the movies after that.
I mean, they kind of had.
Well, yeah.
to.
If the movies are,
if
Feige's gonna treat you like that, then fuck him. Don't tie in with this shit. Yeah. But then, what happened eventually did happen, which is Marvel was like, Kevin Feige gets everything now. Fuck you. And Kevin Feige literally was like, I control all, and he's made one decent show so far.
WandaVision or Loki?
No, it's not Loki.
Oh my god.
Loki.
Anything, please.
I know there are people who love Loki. No, Nick, that's the best part of the show. The rest of the show
you're forgetting about Crocodile Loki, first of all.
That's
Alligator Loki.
And Owen Wilson in the Homer.
Speaking about people who show up for 5 total seconds.
Yeah, that really came and went fast. They made a whole fucking... that was... Alright, that is... looping it back around to the Halo trailer. That's fucking the exact same thing where they, showed a fucking Loki with a vote for me thing, and he's surrounded by, Genghis Khan troops or whatever, and then they all turn on him. That was literally one scene, and then all the Lokis just fucking died. So yeah, it's very possible that they. That's
not my problem with Loki. Loki's shots. Just a show that thinks, much like a lot of Marvel TV, I feel like it thinks it's a lot more deeper than it is by just bringing up topics. It thinks it's talking about them when in actuality they're not. It doesn't help that your most intellectually stimulating debate is like a 5-second debate at the end of WandaVision where he brings up Theseus' ship in order to prove a point, and you're like, okay, that seems kind of interesting. And then the talk is over, and then you're like, I guess that's done. And then the show ends.
We gotta keep doing our Marvel fight. Come on, Jacob. We gotta keep finishing up our Marvel fight between the two witches and fucking two visions.
Speak about shit where I'm like,
make another
the Marvel Ouroboros is eating itself. The end of WandaVision is the Marvel Ouroboros eating itself. Where you're like, oh wow, you really set up this really interesting thing about how some of your characters can be villains too, and all this, and about how trauma can affect people in negative ways where they lash out and create these horrific situations, which end up affecting even more people, creating their cascading effects of trauma. And then at the end, it's like, actually, the villain was the random witch lady the whole time. Wanda didn't do anything wrong. In fact, at the end of the show, this lady's gonna walk up to Wanda and be like, "They'll never understand what you went through." Meanwhile, they're like literally 5 seconds ago, fucking crying and like pissing themselves because Wanda has trapped them there for weeks on end, and they haven't had any food or water or like can see their kids.
Truly, nothing more powerful than when the trailer for Multiverse of Madness comes out and Strange goes up to Wanda and she's like, "Look, I'm sorry about the town." He's just like, "I don't give a shit about the town. Nobody cares, all right, about your trauma. All right, we gotta fucking go to the Multiverse of Madness now."
Marvel should shut the fuck up and make more movies like Thor Ragnarok, which is to say movies where every single fucking character is obscenely hot.
And kind of goofy.
Yeah,
That's it. That's
goofy.
all I. That's
Sexy
all I
and
want.
goofy.
That's
It's like that fucking.
I want movies where I can look at the poster and go, "Oh fuck yes."
Yeah.
I'm jacking off to this poster tonight. This fucking.
Let me just take this real quick.
Look, you say that, but like this is why the hidden gem of period piece Bronte novel adaptations.
Oh, no.
That's where it's at. You sit down
You're
and
right.
you're like, I just want two really good looking people to like kiss each other. And then you watch like
two good looking people
Pride
to
and
dance
Prejudice
around
and you're like,
kissing
oh
each
my
other
god,
for
they're gonna
2
kiss,
hours.
dude. Oh my god.
Pride and Prejudice is honestly hilarious.
Pride and Prejudice is so good. Oh my god.
You let me.
Unironically, a really, really good book.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's almost like all these classics that at least I missed while growing up and was like, hey, what's this about? I don't know, like people kissing each other. That sounds dumb because
It's
I'm
almost
fucking
as if-
indoctrinated into a society where I'm told that rom-coms are dumb. And then you grow up and you watch them and you're like, yo, why is this the best piece of media I've ever seen in my life? What the fuck?
Almost as if the school system butchered
Let's be
classics
fair though.
for
There are a lot of
generations.
bad rom-coms out there, Jacob.
Fuck you!
are-
I'm gonna see Marry
All
Me.
of them.
I'm gonna see Marry Me, and I'm gonna fucking go nuts.
I've watched Holiday more times than I would care to admit.
You don't have Jack. It's okay. You don't have to say that. I was trying to ease you in with like some actual banger classics. You didn't have to send yourself there.
I was trying to figure out what Marry Me was.
It's
the
Owen
fucking
Wilson and
Owen
J-Lo.
Wilson one.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Yeah, I've seen multiple. That's like been all like any of the movies I've seen in the like last month or so have had that fucking trailer in it. It definitely looks like a rom-com. Hopefully it does well. I guess.
Unironically excited, and then one that is more on the seems to be more on the calm side than the.
Is it?
Well,
it's
a little bit.
Let me guess. Is it the one where the two friends are trying to get back with their exes and they help each other to try and?
No, I am excited for that one.
Okay.
Too. But I'm excited for one I just saw the trailer for recently, which is called The Lost City, which stars Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum, Daniel Radcliffe, and Brad Pitt, and it's A, stat cast, B,
I love Sandra
fun
Bullock.
premise,
Yeah.
C, very good looking people who I would like to see go like this by the end of the movie.
I watched that trailer and I literally was like, oh, so this
High five.
is like that fucking tweet that
Yep.
goes, nice 400-pound squat, bro. She just let me hit because I'm goofy. Like, that's literally what's happening in that movie. Except maybe Channing Tatum also can fucking hit the 400-pound squat. But it's...
Are you kidding? Well, but that's
the
like
joke
that's
is
the
that
joke.
he's like the...
He's the cover model.
He's the cover model, and then there's
the
an
cover
actual
model for
buff
the
guy
book.
who comes in like the second half.
Brad Pitt is the actual like buff guy explorer who I'm sure will turn out as like I don't know, he's an asshole or some shit like that or some dumb
It's like
stuff. And then Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum will be like, mwah, and I'll go, yay!
Yeah, I think what happened and why like, and I think this can happen with any genre and has happened with other genres is that like there was a period of time from like 2008 to like 2015, I would roughly range where there were maybe a little bit, or maybe more of just the 2000s in general, maybe not so far into the teens, but there were a fuck ton of rom-com movies coming out.
No, all right, I'm gonna counter that.
Okay.
There were a decent amount of rom-coms coming out, but they were movies made in the 2000s, which might as well be a kiss of death of being bad. There are plenty of movies from the 2000s I love.
I think
No one gets
rom-coms
mad
got
at me.
Shrek and
Rom-coms
Cars.
get a really bad rap because of like the fucking Hallmark Channel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
that's
like
true.
Turns out the same 3 movies every holiday season.
I'm trying to. I'm looking
places
for...
like Hallmark could pump out rom-coms so quickly and so cheaply.
Yeah.
The mid-budget movies were being reduced over time. Rom-com is a perfect mid-budget type of movie.
Like
And-
Netflix is figuring that out
Yeah.
right now.
And
Well,
a lot.
they
It's
had
why
like a really down pat formula to make any
yes,
rom-com.
like Netflix had some of the very few 2010s rom-coms come out on its platform because that's how you got rom-coms made in the 10s. And now it's
coming back around.
It's the 2020s.
People are like, oh,
and
we
it's
can
coming
make a
back
good
around.
rom-com maybe.
Yeah,
Like they have some
Fuck
scripts
yeah.
that they actually were like, oh, we can do good things with this. I just had a very...
Will they be good? I don't know. But
Will I watch them? Yes.
look, the problem
Bucket
is
of
that
popcorn?
like
Fuck
you
yeah.
watch like a Nancy Meyers rom-com or like a Nora Ephron rom-com, and you're like, mama, the cream of the crap. And now you just kind of like, give me anything, please.
One
Yeah,
crumb of rom-com.
I think it was, at least for me, like I was at the gym like a while back and something was just left on the TV in there and it started playing the fucking Vince Vaughn rom-com The Breakup from 2006, and it was literally the most like wife bad boomer humor-esque like rom-com shit I've ever seen.
Oh my god, it's this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck no.
Yeah, Jennifer Aniston
Yes.
and Vince Vaughn, and I was like, yeah, I understand why people grew to hate rom-coms for a long period of time when shit like this was coming out in the 2000s.
But that's what I'm talking about, is that like in the 2000s, there is the problem with the rom-com is all the good rom-com directors are like, all right, we had a great time in the 80s and 90s making rom-coms. We're gonna go a little slower this decade. We'll piece things out a little bit. And then like everyone with a camcorder was like, oh, we don't have enough rom-coms, so we gotta pump these bad boys out. And then you get like, The Breakup, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
all right.
Oof.
Well, it's the 2000s infection. It's the 2000s infection of like, there's some 2000s comedy that holds up and is very funny.
Mhm.
And then there's other 2000s comedy that sounds like it's literally jokes from the 50s, but
American Pie.
they're set in,
Yeah.
the 2000s because comedy writers watched movies in the 50s and were like, that's hilarious. His wife is bad. And then would put that in the movie.
His wife do be bad. Am I right, fellow wife batters?
Wife? Kind of bad.
Absolutely
Brave.
correct. Thank you.
Brave take.
you.
Anyway,
Anyway, why is American Wedding the worst American Pie?
This is
you're
a-
answering
is that a
your
sequel
own
to
question.
This is an
American
American
Pie?
You're
Pie
answering
podcast
your
now.
own question.
I have
don't make
never
the
seen
rules.
any American. As much as I love the song American Pie, never watched any of the
You're
movies.
missing out.
Am I?
I've never seen anything from the American Pie
You
franchise.
literally
They're
just shat
a
on American
fucking-
Pie by saying it was the American Pie effect of the 2000s of white badass
They're
boomer jokes.
a trip.
Anyway, do you guys want to know something that's very funny?
No.
Yes.
No.
Damn.
Do you know? So the director. It's too bad. I'm telling you. Can you guess what other movies the director of The Breakup has made?
No. Is it other rom-coms?
I'm going to give you a hint.
Sure not.
He's made 2 Marvel movies and he's going to make a 3rd.
Oh, is it the Ant-Man
Guardians
and
of
the
the
Wasp
Galaxy?
movies?
He's got it.
Ant-Man. Yeah.
Wait, which one was it? Was
Damn.
it Guardians of the Galaxy or
He-
Ant-Man and the Wasp?
It's
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Okay.
Peyton Reed directed
I
Ant-Man
love
after they
Ant-Man.
fired Edgar Wright, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then he's gonna make Ant-Man and the Wasp
Quantumania.
Quantumania.
See, like,
Oh, he directed 2 episodes of The Mandalorian.
but like, they didn't
Television.
Even, okay, Ant-Man and the
Okay,
Wasp
Jacob.
was not.
I
good.
fucking loved Ant-Man. Ant-Man and the Wasp was
Ant-Man
okay.
was fun. Ant-Man and the Wasp was like just your middle. It was a very median average.
It feels like a
fucking
fucking
Marvel
2000s direct-to-video movie.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Ant-Man and the
and
Wasp really do be
it's-
like that.
and
Oh,
that's-
and then also, what's her name is anti-vax, so I guess we
Oh
can never
yeah,
watch
fun and cool.
an Ant-Man movie ever again. Leslie,
the Wasp.
whatever, the Wasp.
Oh. The love
Which is too bad. Because,
No, it's ironic. That's a great name for somebody who's anti-vax. The Wasp.
I guess that is true.
fucking great.
But yeah, we were talking about Ant-Man. I think I'm on the side of Jack. I think Ant-Man would probably be in my top 5 Marvel movies.
Really?
I think Ant-Man is absolutely fantastic.
Ant-Man. You also have to remember. Maybe this is my bias of when Ant-Man came out. But Ant-Man came out right after Age of Ultron, a movie that I watched and said, I think I'm done. And then I watched Ant-Man and I was like, that was really fun. I guess I'm back in. And then I got tricked into watching
Ant-Man is literally one of the 2 Marvel movies that makes me go, yeah, I'd watch that again.
Yeah.
It's like fucking that and
I don't know if I can say the
Ragnarok.
same. I have not watched Ant-Man since I watched it when it came out, so
I think
maybe
I've
I'll
watched
need
it
to
3
check it out
times.
again and see how I feel about it. But it's funny.
We get it.
that
You
this
hate
man,
Paul Rudd. You don't like comedy.
Yeah, that's exactly what that
He
means.
just doesn't like pseudo heist movies.
But like it is funny that is the better of the Ant-Man and the Wasp movies made by this director who made these terrible rom-coms, because if he doesn't do the rom-com part, then it's pretty alright. Like they just made Paul Rudd not have, or he's divorced with his wife, so and that's
cool.
just it.
She marched against
Anti-rom-com.
vaccine mandates.
Yeah, she's
That's
the Wasp.
Cool. Good for her. Good for her.
She's a
Wow.
Wasp who is also called the Wasp.
Proud of you.
But yeah, I don't know. The fucking.
Can I?
What's up?
Yeah, I have that highlighted for a reason.
What?
You say exotic fruits and then
Oh,
like
I'm pretty
a
sure
full
Colin
lemon or
just
a
dropped this
tangerine with
a
in out of
tangerine.
nowhere fucking last
Wait,
week.
we're going to the topic list? That's
This is a
impossible.
ridiculous question because the answer is not very much money.
yeah.
Would it take for you? So the topic is how much money would it take for you to eat exotic fruits and veggies that taste really bad, like a full lemon or maybe a tangerine with the skin? Yeah,
I'll be honest with
this
you,
is
why are
written
those your
like
examples
it's
for
being
exotic
sent from
fruits and
Colin's
veggies?
mouth.
Free.
I
If
like
you-
the flavor of lemons. I don't eat them because they fucking destroy your enamel.
Yum. I mean, if you're gonna give me money to do it, I'll ask for $50, I guess. But yeah, I don't really think it would cost
$50
that much.
negotiable.
I was gonna
If
do
you-
like 20.
Yeah,
if
that's
it's
fair.
paid for and it's free, I will do it for free.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Like I ate that fucking onion for free.
Yeah, I ate the egg for free. Fucking.
Hey, who removed all of my fucking shit that
Probably
piled up
me.
because I was trying to make these topic questions that Nick keeps asking me for every week, and then Ed never gets around to asking me about because he's
we're
like,
just talking about TV
"Hey,
every
let me
week.
do this bit where I talk about some Rooster Teeth shit no one else cares about because
Fuck you! Everybody wanted to talk about the Bozoverse. Y'all were just cowards, okay?
You're a fucking.
Fuck no, I didn't want to talk about the bozo.
Fuck
first. I don't live in
you!
Chicago.
I
I
wanna
don't
talk
give a
about-
fuck.
Nick,
Removing Bengals at the bowl.
Nick, you can't complain to me about no one wanted to entertain the Bozoverse when I was literally the one who was like, all right, we all clown on Nick. We'll pun intended, Bozoverse joke.
Ayo.
Yeah, I was the one who then asked you questions about the Bozoverse after you were like, all right, well, let's clown on Nick. But Nick kind of wanted to talk about this, so I asked you a question. That's right, I'm doing this on stream, calling Nick out
look,
about calling
I
me out.
appreciate that. You still gave me shit
I
for
don't feel
it.
very appreciated.
You're
Nick.
still giving me shit about it now. You saying that you still
Yeah,
engaged
and-
in it doesn't mean that you also
Cope.
didn't give me shit about it.
I don't know how you Do you understand how this parasocial relationship works, Nick?
This isn't parasocial.
really a
We know
parasocial
each other.
relationship?
Yeah, parasocial is the fucking.
Nick thinks I'm
zero
real,
people
guys.
in
That's
chat
so
that aren't any
funny.
of you guys who are not talking to me right now. That's parasocial. This is just two people who know each other IRL. Thank you, Jack, for the coward. Well, look, was there something that was taken off by Jack's brutality that you did want to talk about?
I
can't
cut
remember.
half
That-
the list.
Thank you.
The only stuff I remember leaving on the list is my joke about House of Gucci, where I said House of Gucci was
I
bad,
did
but
remove
not as
that.
bad as having sex with Nick's mom.
What the fuck? That's a little uncalled for. All right, that's not called for.
I would never do that. That would wreck a home. That's what I mean by it's bad. And I'm
Yeah,
not that type
obviously.
of person.
Yeah. Thank you for.
I was gonna talk about Suzerain. I had that on
I
for like
did trim that topic. It's
like
been on there
a
for
year
almost
and a half. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder who never brought that up.
Do you want to talk about it? I've just never heard of Suzerain. I don't know. What do you want to talk about?
I can't believe Nick was like
God.
put topics on the list and then you never heard of it. So you're like, I guess I shouldn't ask this question.
Do you want to talk about it? Here, I'm
Guess I'll
asking now. Do you
never
want to talk
Google
about
it.
Suzerain?
The problem is I do, but now I want to refuse just out of fucking principle.
All right, if you refuse, I'm gonna take it to the fucking topic I put on. So
It's been like a year. Oh fuck!
Which
I really don't want
one,
Nick
Nick?
to talk about a topic he cares about.
I don't want to talk about the Bengals for a third week in a row.
No, we're not
Jesus,
talking about
no
the Bengals
more.
this week. So I really have nothing to
fucking
say.
God.
I'm just excited that
Who's
they're
it?
in the
Do
Super
we
We're
Bowl.
know
talking
who
about
the other team
licensed
is?
music moments.
That is what I was going to take it to. If you don't want to talk
I
about
want to talk
Suzerain.
about Duel of the Fates.
Suzerain is a like a management. It's like a. It's like a political visual novel, so it's a game made specifically for me, and it's just fucking great. I love
Wait,
it so
is it
much.
actually a visual novel?
It's not a visual novel in the
It's a
traditional
dating
sense,
sim.
but it is basically
Oh
a
my-
visual novel.
All right, that's actually kind of cool.
It unironically fucking rules. Like it's probably one of my favorite like political sim games of all time. And it's structured very novel like. And you make decisions, and it's very stressful, and it's
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Yeah.
Basically, the idea is that you play the recently elected president of a post Soviet state. It's not really Soviet state. I think your country was independent it had become independent like 100 years ago.
Hmm.
Actually, was it
But
independent?
okay. The
independent
plot.
during your
I'm
lifetime?
reading the synopsis right here. It says that it follows the fictitious country of Swordland, which emerged from a civil war and a 20-year dictatorship. And Anton Rain
I'm
was
sorry,
elected as
the
its
name
new
of the
president
country
in
was Swordland?
1954, and
Oh,
was
don't worry.
decided to lead.
Swordland is the least wacky country name in that game.
Are they all fake countries in that game, or are there real countries in there? Oh, okay.
Yeah, yes, no. It's
I mean, it's all
Swordland.
fake. It's all fake
and China.
countries, but
But they're very clearly.
it takes place
representative.
during like the Cold War period,
Okay.
and you're like, what are the two major superpowers? Oh, it's a wealthy country with a lot of free voting rights, but it has incredibly massive fucking inequality and is incredibly corrupt. Or do you want to side with the people who are a
Talk
lot
about
more
Canada like that.
economically redistributive and have a lot of these economic and social policies with a high standard of living and low poverty rate, but not everyone can vote and all that kind of stuff. And you're like, I wonder if this has anything to do, like it literally makes up fake Marxism in that game, where
Fake, why not just real Marxism? Just
called Parksism.
Yeah.
because this is supposed to be like alternative, like
I'm a Leninist.
alternative universe sort of thing. But no,
Oh.
it's a really good game.
Yeah.
It
This
has
seems like a fun way to, try and imagine what it's like to actually take on the insurmountable task of nation building without being the U.S. government and fucking over Afghanistan for 20 years before pulling out.
well, the problem
Only
is
20.
that in this game, you're basically Afghanistan.
Right, exactly.
Because-
so
because-
nation
so there-
building from within. So that's already a leg up
there
on
is-
what the U.S. tried to do.
There is kind of a
I don't know if it is.
Soviet in this game. There's kind of like a Soviet Russia and a monarchist Russia that exists at the same time.
Mhm.
And Soviet Russia and the U.S. are far away from you, but monarchist Russia is right next to you. And the good old, Queen Tsar keep being like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about you, but that territory you got there, that little country of yours, it's looking real tasty right now. Like the start of the game, the game is like, this isn't a spoiler. It happens literally like 5 seconds into the game.
Yo, spoilers.
But you read all the descriptions for the countries, and it's like Swordland. Like I think like the empire above you has this long history of conflicts in the region where they're very expansionist and all that. And it's like Swordland and the Empire have had many, different relationships, and it's like currently like it's on a low. Like there's a lot of tension at the border and all that. Worries about their territorial expansion, especially with their new czar and all. I shouldn't say czar. I think it's just literally queen.
They've sent insurgents into
Queen
the country dressed as
and-
their own citizens, and they've annexed some place called Crimea. And
So
you
you say that, but they do send troops into your own country dressed as civilians to conduct terrorism.
Wow, I wonder what that could be referencing. Huh.
I don't know. We'll never know. But like literally 2 seconds in the game, they're like, yeah, it's the posturing between your 2 countries is very rough. And then like day 3 in the game, the Empire just goes, hey, so we've asked all of our embassy staff to leave your country. We're shutting down any formal relations with you and barely recognize you as a sovereign country anymore. And you're like, oh, okay. And so
Interesting.
the entire game is kind of about like, hey, you're running very similarly equivalent to like post-Soviet bloc country with a lot of like history, but with that history comes a lot of different instabilities you have to deal with. And you're also it's really fun playing a political strategy game where you are intentionally not the big player on the map. You're the small player being like, please don't kill me.
Yeah.
Please don't do
You're
that.
like one of the countries at the Olympics last night who just sent one representative for one event. And they're just happy
one
to be there.
representative, and they're
Nick-
from the U.S.
Nick,
actually.
that's
Oh,
on,
yeah, that's true, too. Yeah, they're from New Jersey, apparently, because it happened with multiple
Yes.
countries. There are
That's-
multiple
that's
people
on a-
from New Jersey representing other countries.
That's
That's
on a
actually
good
very
year.
common.
Swordland's the
Yeah.
type of country because when you start the game, you're also in. So the idea is it basically throws you into different crises and a lot of them at the same time.
Yeah.
But one of the primary crises throughout it is that Swordland. Shut the fuck up.
Thank
Jay.
you, Jack.
But Swordland is going through massive economic collapse when you come to power. Like that's the reason.
My favorite.
One of the primary reasons you're voted in is because the previous president like
Shat the bed.
fucked up the economy so much that like because it's all hard turns in that where like so you have the dictatorship period where it's a planned economy and then the dictatorship is overthrown with kind of another slightly less worse dictatorship
I only killed
but
4
they
people.
also do a planned
Pretty low, to
economy
be
but
fair.
you know it's very like you know militaristic type planned economy, that kind of stuff. Also very dictatory. And so when that guy is forced out of power and the new guy comes in, the new guy is like free market baby, free market.
Hell
and
yeah.
his free market ideology tanks the Swordland economy.
Hell yeah.
And like literally you are dealing with the remnants of a plan to like that's what's so cool about it because it is like showing the uniqueness of the problems a lot of countries face that I feel like
When they're
especially
trying
an
to
American
enter the
audience
world
doesn't
stage.
realize
Yeah.
of like no dude it wasn't like all this simple shit that it's like when you have a country that was like a dictatorship and then a dictatorship planned economy and then like a democracy with a free market economy, all that shit is going to like influence each other stacked on top of each other. And the worst parts of those systems at times will usually remain around, especially when new people come into power.
Yeah.
And so like literally as president, you're like, oh no, I have to deal with all
Uh-oh.
you know this political instability and party infighting and the worries about how free our actual democracy is. When we freed up the market, we sold a bunch of the government's positions to the wealthiest people in the country, and now I have to deal with the oligarchs. Oh no, now I have foreign diplomacy to solve. Oh no, political scandal has happened. I need to deal with that.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And like this is genuinely a game where I multiple times like slept on the decision. Like I played it for hours on end, stopped when I got to his decision. I literally couldn't think like comprehend anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just gotta think on this. And I would turn it off.
Yeah.
And then I would like go to bed. And then the next day I'd be like, I think I know what I want to do here.
That is actually
it's-
like
It's
a
really nice because it's that vision. Sorry for cutting off, Nick, but I just wanted to say this one thing, which is that's what makes the visual novel shit so good.
Hmm.
Right.
Is that it's not like fucking skilled, like weird random rolls or skill checks or any shit like that.
Hmm.
All of the shit is predetermined based off your choices, but your choices are not like marked. It's just like, hey,
Good
you
ending,
said
bad
this
ending.
thing, you chose to do this thing, and a lot of it is on a you're the president level,
Mhm.
so it makes it compounds that by making it so like there's no way you can have all this information. There's a scene in the game where some of your advisors are trying to get you to do something,
Yeah.
and the way I played it made one of my advisors then reveal something about themselves that I didn't know before, and I wouldn't have known if I hadn't made the choice I had made. Where I was like, oh, that's right. All these individual characters are also people with their own self-interest and might not tell me the whole truth all at first glance. Like, the game is about that,
Yeah.
and I'm like, this fucking rules.
Yeah. That's it.
Oh,
That's
tell me,
a
other
really
people have thoughts too?
neat thing, and I mean, it's not like
What?
a crazy idea to just be able to pause like a choice-based game and take a night to sleep on it. But I haven't really, I can't really think of a game like a decision-based game that I've played where I've had to do something like that, or had the opportunity to even, because like a lot of decision-based games that I play are like fucking Telltale games where they have timers, so it's like you have to choose before time runs out,
Which have their own merit. Because
yeah,
that's like
yeah,
the
but
intent
that's-
of those games.
right. But this is a different way of approaching that same situation with its own, it's built a little bit differently to accommodate that, and that sounds really interesting.
Yeah.
To have moments like that, the decisions are so intense that you're just like, I'm gonna take a little break. I need to think about this one. Hold on.
Unironically, there's a part when you have to choose. You have just been given a bunch of information, and you have to. The next election is coming up,
Mhm.
and you have to choose your running mate for that election.
Yeah.
And I literally spent like 2 days thinking about the best option,
God damn.
because they give you 3 options, and you're like. There's a classic saying about The Witcher, which is you choose the least worst option.
Yeah.
And I think that's true in The Witcher 1. And I think it's kind of true in The Witcher 2, even though not as much.
Mhm.
But like it's kind of this theme of the game. And I think Witcher does it like well enough for what it's going for.
Yeah.
But Suzerain is an actual, I mean, sure. There are some ones where like some decisions in Suzerain where they're like, do you want to be like a fascist?
Do you want to
Do you
be
wanna do
comically
that?
evil, or just
Do you wanna
like,
be comically-
realistically evil?
Like
You
literal,
wanna
there's
shoot the children at the orphanage.
There's a secret
or-
cabal in your country that isn't secret because everyone goes, no, these are just the entrenched like conservative powers of this country that will use their influence and money
Wow,
in
much
order
like in
to
real life.
prevent you.
Yeah.
Like I think they're literally called like the Old Guard,
Nice.
who are secretly
The
not
grand
secretly,
old party, if
pretty
you will.
yes, pretty like on like we don't even think the original overthrow of the dictatorship should have happened.
Yeah.
We think we should still be back in the grand old days. And you're like, yo, what the fuck? And so every once in a while, like someone from the Old Guard will like show up and be like, wouldn't it be cool if you did this like incredibly anti-democratic thing? And you're like, no, dude. But then sometimes they show up and they're like, don't you think you should do this anti-democratic thing? Here's fucking proof about how bad the situation is. And you're like, I mean, I'm me. And I go, you're not gonna fucking trick me with this shit. But I'm like, there's still some of these circumstances where you're just like, fuck, there's no
assuming
good
direct
answer.
control could
The-
potentially help in the short term here, like a
Yes.
lot.
There's I mean, even ignoring those, there are just some where you're just like, wow, there is no good answer, and it doesn't feel like the game is preventing me from choosing a logical option.
Yeah.
Where it's not like, man, I wish I could do this. It's more like, no, these are like the options that make sense, but the situation the game has presented to me sucks so fucking much that
You don't
there's
want
no
to
way
make
for
an
me to
option.
come out perfectly unscathed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Anyway, that game also reminds me of a Tim Rogers quote at the end of his Cyberpunk 2077 review, where he's like, I think over time, all I really want is a AAA Tokimeki Memorial, which is a dating sim. And I go, man, Tim's fucking right. The more I think about that quote, the more I'm like, yeah, he's kind of right. why can't someone just come along? Like, that's the shit Suzerain does so well, where I play it and I'm like, man, this shit good. Why don't we get more of these? And I'm like, oh, it's because people want, like, I don't know, they're fucking
I want another Call of Duty, Jacob.
Madden
Rudy
60.
Shooty
Give me a number one with fries.
Hell yeah.
Bees Trigger.
I fucking I've watched a lot of Oni Plays on YouTube, which is just another one of those fucking Let's Play YouTube series, but it's with Chris O'Neill.
I'm so sorry for you.
And
Rest in peace.
and they just started doing Halo Infinite again, and like, yeah, there's a lot of generic modern day, not, you know, just blockbuster. I guess this is the best way of putting it. Is blockbuster games is what is being mass produced these days instead of stuff like that.
It's the same problem the movie industry has, but in my opinion, it's somehow worse in the games industry.
Yeah, but I was just gonna say Halo's good. Halo, they started playing the Halo campaign, and I'm just like, God damn, this is fucking nice. Like, and those are a bunch of guys who are also really fucking cynical, and they usually like this shit on like even good games. But even they were like, damn, this shit's pretty fucking like Master Chief, like the cinematography in the cutscenes and like how they present Master Chief, even like right out of the gate. They're just like, God damn, he is really fucking cool, isn't he? And they're right. And I just fucking.
I agree. I like a number one with fries. That's
okay.
I don't want people to take away that, like,
yeah. But you want a little bit more variety to at least be there to choose from when you're not.
I want the $1 McChicken.
It's the same. It's the same.
The number
it's
one.
the same thing with
burger.
the Marvel shit and the influence Marvel has had on the movie industry.
Yeah.
Is like, what do people make now? $1 billion like, you know, $500 million blockbusters so that they can make $1 billion off of it.
Yeah.
Because it makes a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, that's great. I love a number one with fries. But sometimes
with
sometimes I like to go next door and I'd like to order, I don't know, like some sushi, some like foot, some like beef and broth, a soup, a Sammy, something else. Let's mix it up.
Let's get a little crazy out here.
Only.
I mean, the real analogy is the real analogy I should make is everyone likes steak, but that steak ain't real, bitch. I love Matrix.
Thank you. Bring it back to the Matrix.
Nick, that's another Matrix joke, because that's in Matrix 4.
Funny Matrix joke. But
thanks for posting the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, no worries. It legit. You've sold me on it. Like I'm definitely gonna look into maybe purchasing it after this.
I was thinking about doing it for one of your streams at some point, but I wasn't sure when. But now that it's been so long and I haven't been able to win it, I might be able to.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh, but I didn't finish the game because I made a decision that fucked everything up, and it auto saves in that game.
Yeah.
And so you can't save scum.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I guess I failed. Like that's what's kind of crazy about it is I got to a point where I was like, wow, I failed as the ruler of this country, and then I just stopped my run because I was like, yeah, this makes sense. I have, like, there's no, it's over.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what do you see?
And
what do you
still
see
felt
the
satisfied.
end game going to be? Because it sounds like the game wasn't over, but it was basically over in your mind.
What,
are you assuming it was going to fall into like Civil War?
Like, I haven't seen the like technically the last chapter. Like I failed in the second to last chapter. But there is a very big theme about rulership in a country and how no matter how hard you try, that doesn't mean it was good enough.
Yeah.
But that's part of the political process. Because I don't want to spoil it, but there's a point in the game when one of the previous like leaders you just like meet. Like you have like a casual encounter with them, and it's genuinely like one of the
encounter with you.
Like it's so crazy, and a lot of the takeaway of like the post Civil War Swordland is like fucked by dictatorship. The post dictatorship Swordland is fucked by, you know, like this free market politician. But like when you talk to some of these people, you're like, wow, you guys are like kind of scummy. But like also a major theme is, hey man, that's literally your role right now. Your role is what their role was. And
How are you doing?
one of the previous rulers it's talked about how one of the previous rulers literally like lives in exile on an island. And you're like,
Guys, it's me, Napoleon.
oh. Like you meet the guy who does the economic you meet with the guy who caused the economic collapse, and you're like, man, I can't believe the outcome of being ridiculed and laughed out of the Senate is the better option of these two.
Hell yeah.
Where you're like, oh no,
yeah.
I destroyed the Swordland economy. I guess I'm not exiled. So
Oopsie.
Oopsie doopsie.
Hey, I mean, Newt Gingrich is still around, so
speaking about people who should fucking exile to an island, Jesus
Absolutely
Christ.
correct.
God.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that game's really good.
Yeah.
There are many times in that game where sometimes it's hard for a game to make you feel something, and I feel like Suzerain is, at least for me. Once again, I'm caveating with this as there's a reason we joke. How come every week we talk about politics and economics? So like, hey, guess what? It turns out the video game that's a visual novel about politics and economics.
Oh my God.
I enjoy a
Who
lot.
could have seen this coming?
Shocker.
Fucking out of this world fucking correlation here.
So maybe you won't have that same emotional connection to it as I did, but like, I think Suzerain is like great.
Yeah.
It might not be like a 10 out of 10. It might be like a 9 out of 10 because like maybe there's some stuff, but or maybe even like an 8 out of 10. I don't know because I haven't finished it. So
No, I mean you
But-
did a great job pitching it. Like I'm
It's
genuinely interested in it.
really
so-
good. I like
yeah.
it a lot. If only there was some way I could have talked about it back when I was playing with it, but we'll never be able to know what that's like.
Listen, we got around to it eventually, okay? It's just this is the natural flow of conversation, all right? If you wanted to talk about it early, you should have done what you did today and yelled at me earlier. Is all I'm saying. Because I am very easily swayed to just talk about some other shit if I'm not in the middle of a fucking rant, which I'm usually not. We're usually just fucking going from topic to topic.
Usually in the middle of a rant.
But on topic of the topics list, the last thing that I just added was the discussion of fucking licensed music in media and how it can be used pretty effectively in certain instances. I was playing, I guess the most recent instance that I kind of just thought of was that the intro for Forza Horizon 5, and I feel like maybe racing games are kind of a cop-out because they are like, they use a lot
I
of
don't think it's a
licensed music.
cop-out, but it is the genre where you're like, I wonder how licensed music is going to work in my video game. And then it's the one where you drive a car, the place where most people listen to licensed music all the time.
Yeah, but
And you're like, oh yeah,
like at the beginning of the game, and the funny thing is that I already saw this like in their E3 demo or whatever or maybe Summer Games Fest or whatever it was when they were showing it off most recently, and there's a sequence at the beginning of the game where they basically do like a little preview tour of like the map and all the different environments that you can see. It just looks really pretty, and they're just flexing on how pretty.
It's a Forza intro,
right?
Yeah.
But they like have this big climax in you racing a fucking cargo plane that you were dropped out of earlier to like in different sequences, and it like the music like swells and like climaxes as you're going over the finish line, and you just outspeed this fucking plane.
Forza Horizon is really good with set pieces like that. Like,
yeah.
Did you ever play 4?
No, I thought 5 is on Game Pass, so I just picked it up.
Yeah, you know the I forget what the train's called, but there's a race where you race a fucking train. Yeah, they might use licensed music in that as well, but yeah, Forza Horizon does really well with the like hitting the beats of everything.
And I mean the rest. I think for most of the rest of the game, it's just they have whatever they pick a random song, but that specific starting sequence was a specific choice of music.
I think
there's
some other
well in that instance.
I haven't played 5 yet, but I know that there's like story races almost that will like hit those beats, like, oh, you're racing a fucking train. in 4.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they might have another cargo plane one later on.
There's
Yeah,
they use a cargo plane a decent amount.
You race a
5.
hovercraft at some point in 4 as well.
Yeah, you do.
4 is
remember
also
that
where
one.
they introduced they put the Halo Warthog in for the first time, right? Or was that 3?
I
They
think
added
so.
it?
I think it was
Okay.
4.
Yeah, and I think they had a
Because-
mission where you were like flying around, like driving around, and the Covenant was
You were literally
shooting at
driving
you or
along
something.
like the beach of Scotland or
Yeah.
wherever, but like it was they're like Covenant ships flying over and shit as well. It was
Yeah.
wacky.
Oh god,
Forza
the Covenant are
is a
attacking
good game.
England. Oh no.
Scotland.
No,
Fuck 'em.
Scotland.
Scotland.
Sorry,
Scotland.
Scotland.
Independent nation of Scotland. I voted.
I support you, even though
I'm kidding. I
I'm
don't live in
Northern England.
Scotland. That's
I
I
don't
was
care.
talking to someone the other day who was like, I didn't realize there were 2 Irelands.
God. Oh no.
Like, what the fuck, dude?
Man lived in a world without
I
the
can't even
troubles.
look. I was acting surprised, but the problem is that I'm like, wow, nah. I know there. It's
Like
too
a
late.
century-long conflict.
We know that people are that dumb.
Yeah.
Like
I think to be fair, he's Chilean, so
yeah. Well,
not
how about
exactly
this? I'm
up on English-speaking history.
Chilean every night in my bed, if you know.
Okay, we're gonna reroute this one back to the topic at hand.
Oh,
No, we're not.
reroute like the
I want to talk
cargo
about the
plane?
troubles.
Yeah. The fucking.
The
I wanna
troubles
talk about
rule
fucking-
anyway.
I want to talk about Bloody Sunday and the YouTube song.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to that next week on
I-
episode 100.
No, we
The
won't.
Troubles.
No, we won't.
Next week, the troubles.
Man, I
Um,
love how dumb fascists are. I'm sorry to like just like.
No,
I'm not saying
we
your
can't
Chilean
keep
friend
doing
is
this.
a fascist, but like there's so many dumb people out there who just fall for fascism so quickly, and I'm like, man, you're really dumb. It's really funny.
Do you think Margaret Thatcher effectively utilized girl power?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
End
I
of
do.
story. So I was.
You ever
just
think about how
curious
Tucker
if
Carlson is like a banner guy
my
for the
he wants to fuck the
alt-right fascist movement?
What do
and
you?
you're
What
Did
do
you
you
see that
think?
fucking clip
This is
of
your
Ben Shapiro
guy?
and the children?
What do you?
Why is his
God.
face so small?
Because
It's
all
not
fascists have genetic deficiencies that they think is part of their master race plan, when in actuality they're just inbred morons.
Thank you, Jacob. All right, we can't keep we can't go back down this rabbit hole. No, fucking
You want to.
no.
I want to so bad.
I just was curious if you guys had any moments that stuck out from media that you've enjoyed of like well used licensed music. So like.
Oh,
something
I got a
along-
moment that sticks out. All right,
Okay.
Oh.
Thank you.
This man
and
needs
it's
to be
from
stopped.
Control. There's a scene in Control when
So really,
they have licensed music that plays during a fight sequence, and it's really fun. And you're like, why isn't the rest of the game like this?
Damn.
And then the
fucking
game ends, and
backhanded
you're like,
compliment
oh.
for Control out here. Very brave. What
Control
was
is like a
GTA
game
5
where I'm like,
radio?
wow, there's so much potential here. I really fucking hate this combat though. Stop doing it. And they're like,
Yeah.
this is the only thing we know how to do. And I'm like, please stop.
Oh no.
Fuck.
Please
What
stop.
was the song? Out of curiosity.
I can't remember. Hold on.
Simple and clean.
If you just Google the sequence and then drop that in the
If you
chat,
Google
that's
Control
fine as
song.
well. Or they'll probably give you the song name.
It's called. It says Poets of the Fall as. Oh, I think it's called Ashtray Maze, featuring Poets of the Fall as Old Gods of Asgard.
Okay.
Yes. So here it is. I got it.
Let me drop this.
Like this takes place during the arguably best fight sequence in the game,
Oh.
and it rules.
the in-game band is titled "Old Gods of Asgard," and the real-life band performing them is Poets of the Fall.
Yeah. I see. Yeah.
Interesting.
Outside of video games, I guess the other example I would bring up is like, I mean, I could just fucking exemplify all of Baby Driver, but specifically the Hocus Pocus song that they
Yeah,
pull
okay.
out during
Spacey
the
apologist.
the fucking what was it was it was basically the sequence where Baby finally like abandons the heist crew and goes rogue,
Yeah.
and like has the cops chase him through town as well as his former heist collaborators. I was fucking shitting my brain
Baby
on the word
Driver
there.
music from the motion picture.
But yeah, that Hocus Pocus song was expertly used, and obviously the timing was perfect. So
Oh yeah.
I think the first sequence with bell bottoms is
Bell Bottoms was also
honestly
very good.
fantastic. The fucking beginning of the old Suicide Squad movie, 4 years ago, is also very good.
The bad one.
Oh,
the bad one, yes.
Yeah. What song did they use? I'm trying to remember.
They use different ones for every character. The one for Harley Quinn is. I was listening to it the other day. I don't remember.
I think it makes a fun mixtape, but I don't think
I agree.
film
it doesn't really work
very good
because it's fucking stupid.
Oh, they use
but
the
it's
Kanye
a good
song
collection of songs.
For Deadshot, right? They time him shooting shit with the Kanye song. It's something, I think it's Black Skinhead.
What can one man do with all that power?
Yeah.
Answer the question, Nick.
Sorry. Well, you fucking mentioned Power. The fucking trailer and then the sequence that they use in the game to emulate the trailer for Saints Row the Third, where they use Power. That was really fucking good. That was a really tight sequence.
Oh shit! I just closed my Steam library because I had some good ideas, and then I got rid of it.
Radar Love is a good song. Anyway.
All of Beat Saber. I win the game.
Ah, shit. Oh, fuck. I forgot about the rhythm game. That wins by default. Fuck.
Owned by Facebook.
Is it actually? That's
it is actually.
Fuck,
they purchased
man.
Beat Saber like several years ago, I think.
Yeah.
I haven't.
It's pronounced meta. It's pronounced no stock value. Just kidding. No stock value is fine. People literally be like, it lost 40% of its stock value, and I'm like, I don't give a shit.
25%.
That's not nothing, Jacob. I feel like
everyone is low key.
I don't give a shit. I don't think corporations should exist.
Most people are low key happy about it because it's almost time for stock refreshers.
Refresh? What does that mean?
I hardly know her.
your performance you do a performance review and you get like a cash bonus, but you also get a stock refresher, which is based on the value of your bonus. So people are gonna get like 10K in stock.
Yeah.
So they are getting new stocks. What is
they pay you your bonus, part of your bonus in stock.
Yes.
And if the stock price is lower, you're going to get more stock.
I see. Gotcha.
Yeah, more shares. Sorry, that's the appropriate. Oh, sorry, I just thought of the best one.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if this counts as licensed because I think it was made for the game.
I'd like to Until Dawn song. So
yes, the Until Dawn song, great.
I mean, Oh Death is a real song.
Oh Death is a real song. That particular cover is made for Until
Dawn. I would like to drop.
The line, but
I would like to drop into the suggestion box.
Yeah.
What I believe is an American classic.
Paper Shredder.
Hoodoo Your Voodoo Bitch.
Oh my god.
The opening to Dead Island.
God damn it.
Fuck you.
Shut the fuck up. You're a bastard, man.
I love Dead Island. Dude.
I can't believe you would say that to my
Speaking about games or media that needs to know when and when not to take itself seriously, that's the entire Dead Island franchise. Where I'm like, when Dead Island doesn't take itself seriously, I'm like, this shit's hilarious. And when it takes itself seriously, I'm like, this shit's hilarious.
Oh, all right. This is the last one I've got. I don't know if you guys got any.
Big Iron, Fallout New Vegas is the actual answer. Get wrecked.
Fuck.
I love
damn
that song.
it.
I fucking love that song.
So but I think that's another example that kind of falls into the it's just on
you mean
radio
it's like trail songs and
it's like I don't know.
It's just a collection of trail music.
No, it's a fucking Marty Robbins album.
It's an album.
It's a Marty Robbins album. Gunfighter Ballads.
Gunfighter Ballads and trail.
Gunfighter Ballads and trail.
I thought did he just collect them or did he write them? Because I thought
some of them are written, some of them are covers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
El Paso is original.
Yeah, I mean you can't compete with Big Iron, but that is another song where it's just like it comes on the radio, and anytime it comes on, no matter what you're doing, you're just like, I'm just having a good rootin' tootin' time right now. Thank you,
Big Iron is original.
Okay, but I was gonna say the last one that came to mind for me that I played recently is Life is Strange, the fucking songs that they use for that game, and I'm assuming the sequels are probably the same. Honestly, I'm trying to think, did the Walking Dead series use licensed music at all for any of its
games?
Yeah,
I don't know if it was licensed, but they had end songs. Oh,
there was
the endings, the credit songs in every episode.
Oh yeah, those were licensed, and that was similar
bangers.
to one of the ones I think I brought up before the stream, which was the ending credit song for the first Mass Effect was just a song by a band that I think people at BioWare knew personally, and then they're just like, hey, can we put this in our game? And they're like, sure. Because we're both from fucking Canada, we're just chilling. Why not? And it's sick as hell. But the Life is Strange songs are specifically incorporated into key moments in the episodes.
Oh
my! They are done very tastefully, I would say.
Did you know you can listen to all of the credit songs in a single album on Spotify for sorry, I can't use Spotify anymore, on YouTube playlist.
Amazon Music. Can't believe Neil Young went Spotify bad. How about
and
Amazon
everyone was
Music?
like, you're right.
Nah, shit, wait.
Well, he fucking migrated to Amazon Music.
Yeah.
Well, that's because it might I think it might have had something to do with some sort of morals, but might be, in a bigger sense, have been a marketing ploy.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Well, which it still also plays into the original problem before all of this fucking Joe Rogan shit with Spotify, is that they pay their artists jack shit for their fucking streams, you know?
Yes.
What was garbage?
Songs. Walking Dead, credits, songs. End credit songs, here we go, perfect.
Okay, well, there's probably not going to be any...
Season 2, Episode 1, I think is probably one of the best ones.
Drop this video that seems to at least talk about the topic, the Life is Strange stuff. Did you like the album of the Walking Dead stuff? I do remember the Walking Dead songs being very fucking good at the credits.
The, end credits.
Yeah. Oh, dude, another great moment I just thought of, fucking BioShock Infinite. When you get to not Rapture, what is the city called?
Concordia.
Oh,
yeah, the city in the sky. And when you get there, they are playing, and they do a couple moments like this throughout the game where they're playing like the gospel music, and it's just like it works really fucking well.
BioShock 1 and 2 also have fantastic soundtracks in the same vein as Fallout.
Yeah.
What's the song? Oh, the Circle Be Unbroken. That's a good song.
Yes, Will the Circle Be Unbroken? Yeah, and I think it comes back at the end, which is a really fucking great thematic way to bring it all together. Is bring that song back about the circle being unbroken at the end of the game, where it's about fucking time loops. It's so good.
Unironically, one of my favorite songs. But not.
Sorry, I just remembered my actual favorite soundtrack. I know we're talking about licensed music, but I'm going to toss out a soundtrack that I love.
Yeah.
And it's not even technically a soundtrack because it is not. Awesome. It's generated through the game, but the Ape Out soundtrack is.
Oh yeah, it's
my favorite soundtrack.
It's a dynamically generated jazz album, basically, which is really cool.
It's I played that game and I was like, Ape Out I think was my game of the year that year. Unironically,
it's a good game.
It's so good. I listened to the soundtrack, recordings of those songs, which is literally there are people who recorded their play sessions of the game to record the audio of the song so that you could get at least a singular version of the song.
Yeah,
fucking rules.
Yeah, that's in the similar vein as kind of Doom 2016 and Eternal, where they have that one's a little bit more structured in that they had these tracks made by McGordon, but they were made in such a way that you could grab specific portions of them and easily loop them in such a way that it can work with the game's actions, so that it can switch to more high intensity stuff when the monsters spawn in. And I could spend a whole fucking hour talking about how cool that shit is, but I think there's a Noodle video on YouTube that goes over that pretty well.
I just say the Ape Out website is really cool.
Oh, I actually haven't seen
just apeout.com.
Apeout.com.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this fucking rules.
Yeah.
Trying to.
I mean, this is how the game looks, so that's
cool.
Awesome.
It looks like Hotline Miami.
Sticking on soundtracks, I know a bunch of people want to talk about. Gonna bring up Stardew Valley soundtrack. I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm gonna bring it up because I know that's one's important to people.
Sure.
And I know I already talked about this, but I'm gonna talk about two kind of visual naughty games that I love. The soundtrack to Suzerain fucking rules. The
Didn't we just spend like
soundtrack.
half an hour talking about Suzerain?
I know. Hold on.
Don't get him on it. Don't get him on it again.
And the soundtrack to This Is the Police also fucking rules.
What is This Is the Police?
This Is the Police is a management game where you run a police station with about as much, ethics as a regular police station has.
I think you've talked about this before.
That's very possible.
It's a very good game. I played.
I've definitely heard of it before, and to be frank, there's no other way.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Jay, did you have any picks from TV or movies or games?
No, not anything really. Just besides Forza. Forza does it really well.
Yeah, Forza does do it really well.
Well, yeah. No, these are some great fucking picks, though. I had completely forgotten about some of these guys.
I got one last one.
Yeah, what you got?
Of course.
This is... Shut the fuck up, Jack. This is a podcast. I gotta fucking talk.
The man wants to... We try to encourage the talk in here, Jack. We're not here to fucking stifle it.
I want to sit in silence for an hour, man.
Yeah, well...
Episode 100.
I'm gonna have to come over and steal your car radio for you to do
The
that.
goal on the podcast is to bully the rest of you.
This is true. That's
your
color
bet.
commentating. Nah, fuck that. Bully only.
You really are sending to take Angela's role. Without calling to be bullied by Angela, now Jack is here to bully everybody else.
That's the difference.
That is the difference.
The Tropico soundtracks always hit it out of the park, in my opinion. They're really good.
Oh, fucking... I mean, we're just completely off of the license shit, but Civ 5 and 6, I don't know about the previous ones, but maybe they did good as well, but they had pretty good music for each of the Civs. Like, I liked it.
Now that you brought up... Civilization 2 didn't have any music at all, or like it barely had any, but yeah, 5 and 6 definitely.
My favorite soundtrack is No Country for Old Men.
Now, I'm going to bring this around. Nick brought up Civ. I'm going to bring this around to more Civ and back to licensed music.
Mm-hmm.
Because how you talk about Civ if you ain't talking about Baba Yetu, baby.
Oh my god.
Baba Yetu?
Civ. You never played Civ 4? You never come home from school
4.
and you fucking load up that shit and you're like,
literally...
man, I'm gonna watch this entire intro again because it got fucking Baba Yetu.
My mom never played anything past Civilization 2, so that's just what was on the family computer. So if I got a chance to play Civ, yeah.
I think Civ 3 had a similar thing where it didn't have a ton of music in it. Like it had its standard like ambient music.
Right.
It's ambiance music. I don't know how to fucking say it. But yeah,
ambiance.
It's like you were saying.
Ambience.
Someone call the ambience.
And on that ambience note, I think we're gonna cut it here. That was a lovely conversation, fellas. Thank you for joining me.
For yourself.
Tune in next week for the big 100 episode where I'm finally gonna wrangle Angela and fucking Colin to show up for once.
That's not true.
I've literally been texting them all this week, and I'm at least 85% sure I'm actually gonna get them to show up.
One of them or both of them?
Both of them. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get both of them.
I can't wait to clip this and post it on my new subreddit. Okay, buddy, Nicholas.
But yeah, next week is big 100, so don't miss it. It's gonna be fun. And I think there's a surprise in store that it'll be nice. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching.
Nick Mercadante assassinated on air.
I just die.
I'm gonna fight right now.
Thank you guys for watching. Stay safe out there, and as always, peace out.